Hello guys, welcome back to Mathematics. Today we are going to learn how to calculate the highest common factor. Before we start, don't forget to give me a like if it's useful for you. Okay, so let's start checking what highest common factor means. Let's start with the word factor. The factors of a number are the numbers that you could divide without remainder. For example, the number 6. 3 is a factor because 6 divided by 3 is equals 2. No reminder. 2 is a factor because 6 divided by 2 is equals to 3. No reminder. 6 is also a factor because 6 divided by 6 is equals to 1. There is no reminder. And finally, 6 divided by 1 is 6 without a reminder, so 1 is also a factor. So you might have noticed that in order to find the factors of a number, we need to find multiplications that give us the result of the number. For example, if we know that 2 times 3 is 6, then 2 and 3 are factors because that means that there is a division that doesn't have a remainder. Also 6 times 1. So since the multiplications 3 times 2 is 6 and also 1 times 6 is 6, then the all 3, 2, 1, and 6 are factors of 6. Okay, now let's check what about common. Common is about characteristics that two elements share. So when we say common factors, we are looking for factors that are repeated for two numbers. Let's check. The factors of 6 again are 1, 2, 3, and 6. The factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. So they have in common the 1 and the 2. Those are the common factors. And finally, highest. Well, that means the biggest one possible. Like in this case, they have in common the 1 and the 2, so we choose the biggest one of those. We would say the highest common factor between 4 and 6 is equals to 2. But let's check through examples how to find the highest common factor. So I'm going to show you two methods. So the first one is to decompose both numbers. So we are going to find four multiplications that give us that number. For example, 6 times 4. So 6 and 4. And at the same time, we are going to decompose these given numbers. For example, for 6, we have 2 times 3. And for the 4, we have 2 times 2. Once we get prime numbers here, like these ones, then we cannot decompose the number anymore. So this is the composition of the number 24. 2 times 3 times 2 times 2. Let's do the same with the 60. I'm going to start with 6 times 10. At the same time, 6 is 2 times 3, and 10 is 2 times 5. And finally, I'm going to take the ones that they have in common. 1, 2, another 2. Notice that this 2 doesn't have another one in the 60, so we cannot take it. The 3 we can take it because it's in both 3 and 3. And finally, the highest common factor between 24 and 60 is going to be the multiplication of those common factors. 2 times 2 times 3. That is, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. So 12 is the common factor between those. Is the highest one possible. 60 divided by 12 is 5, and 24 divided by 12 is 2. No reminders. But what if we have three numbers instead? We could do the same thing. 84, 108, and 132. Let's see, 88, we can write it as 4 times 21. If you don't know a multiplication that gives you the result, you can just divide it by a half, for example. 84 divided by 2 is 42, and then you keep going from that. You could also do that. 4 is 2 times 2, and 21 is 3 times 7. Okay, we have prime numbers already. Let's check this one. This one is pretty big, so I'm gonna cut it in two parts. Half of 108 is 54. And I know 9 times 6 is 54. So I'm going to put 9 and 6. Finally, 9 is 3 times 3, and 6 is 3 times 2. So I have the prime numbers. And 132. Same thing, I'm going to cut it in two parts first. That is going to give me 66. Then 66, I'm going to write it as 6 times 11. And finally, 6 is 2 times 3. 11 is also a prime number, so we have finished. Let's see which one they all have in common. 2, 2, and 2. That is one of them. They do have another 2, so 2, 2, and 2. They have a 3, 3, 3, and 3. And there's nothing else that repeats. So we would say the highest common factor between 84, 108, and 132 is equals to 2 times 2 times 3. Oh, again, 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. It's also 12 for these ones. Again, 84 divided by 12 is 7. 108 divided by 12 is 9. And 132 divided by 12 is 11. Now let's do the same exercise but with the method 2. This second method tells us to put the numbers side to side. And we are going to write a vertical line on the right. So we are going to start with the smallest prime number, which is 2. And then we are going to divide the numbers by that prime number as much as we can. Let's see, for example, in this case, they are both even numbers, so yes, we can divide by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12, 60 divided by 2 is 30. We can still divide by 2 because, again, we have even numbers, so we divide it by 2 again. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 30 divided by 2 is 15. We could take a half of this one, but we cannot take a half of this one without reminders. So what we are going to do is to check the next prime number. The next prime number is 3. Yes, 6 and 15, they are both multiples of 3. So yes, we can divide by 3. We are going to get 2 and 5. We already have prime numbers here, so the process is over. And finally, we do the multiplications. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. Again, the highest common factor between 24 and 60 is going to be 12. I have always considered this method the fastest one. It's up to you guys. I give you two methods. You can use any of them. I think this one is more organized and you don't do as many mistakes as the other one. But it's up to you, the one that you feel better doing. Let's do the other exercise using this method. 84, 108, and 132. So we can divide everything by 2, then we use it. 42, 54, and 66. We can divide by 2 again, they are all even. 21, 27, and 33. We cannot divide by 2 anymore. Let's check the 3. Yes, they are all multiples of 3. Remember, in order to check, you can also add the digits. 2 plus 1 is 3, multiple of 3. 2 plus 7 is 9, multiple of 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, multiple of 3. So yes, they are all divisible by 3. 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 9 is 27, and 3 times 11 is 33. And then we are done. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. Once again, the highest common factor between 84, 108, and 132 is 12. I feel like we get the result faster with this one, but again, it's up to you guys. Okay, guys, practice time. This is your time to find the highest common factor. You can use any method. Go ahead, pause the video, try to solve it, and go back for the answer. Okay, guys, let's check. I'm going to use the second method, which is my favorite one. So 72 and 90. We can take a half, 36, 45. We can divide by 3, 12, 15. Again by 3, 4, and 5. And then we finish. There's no another prime together. 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. So here the highest common factor is 18. Let's check the second one. Half is 48, 60, and 72. Again half, 24, 30, 36. Again half, 12, 15, 18. We can divide by 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then it's done. We cannot do anything else to all of them since we have a prime number here. And any of the other numbers are multiples of 5. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. So the highest common factor is 24 in this case. Okay, guys, give me a like if it was useful. Don't forget to subscribe. Check the description because it has a link where you can book your own lessons with me. And drop any question you have in the comment box. Bye bye, guys. See you next time.